Hello and welcome everyone to another video. Today we are doing a Southampton versus Manchester United preview. There are a lot of talking points for this one. Can Manchester United be consistent? That is the key. In many ways, this is actually a more difficult game than the game against Liverpool. Why? Well, for one, we're trying to end a ridiculous, terrible away streak in the Premier League. This will be the 8th consecutive match that we would lose if we lose against Southampton. Absolutely terrible streak. And it's easy to get motivated for Liverpool. It's the biggest game in English football. Can we get motivated for an away game in an awful run of form against Southampton and really stop the rot? And we can really start to be positive because, I mean, how great it was against Liverpool, that gets massively diminished if we follow that up with a loss against Southampton and continue that awful streak. And it will be even more impressive, I think, if we can get that consistency, and it will even elevate the confidence even more of the players going into some more tricky fixtures with Leicester. Leicester are in a poor form as well, but that will be next week. Arsenal we've got, Crystal Palace we've got. So going into some very tricky games. But yeah, we're going to talk about the starting lineup. This is the starting lineup that was against Liverpool. The changes that I would make. Obviously, Casemiro could be, likely will be, making his debut, but will he be starting from the start? He's had 2 training sessions now. He would have one today. He had his first one yesterday. And yeah, it's 11th versus 14th. Southampton coming off the back of a win against Leicester last week, getting their first win of the season. So they're in front of us on 11th in the table. And they hadn't won 8 Premier League games before last week. So they're kind of trying to look for some consistency as well. So yeah, before beating Leicester. And there are some memorable matches in this fixture. Obviously, the 9-0 in 2021 was a huge one. But we haven't won against Southampton in their last 2 games. So we've drew twice. I think one was definitely a 1-1. They might both be 1-1s last season. But Southampton haven't beaten United since 2016 in all competitions. So let's get into the team news, should we? I mean, and the starting 11. And I think there's a big question to ask in terms of what our best midfield is. The back 4, I'm going to say it, the back 4 picks itself. You have to be consistent. I'll be very disappointed if Maguire comes back in or if Luke Shaw comes back in. The back 4 picks itself, and the goalkeeper obviously as well. We are obviously looking for a loan move for Dubravka. I really don't think he will be challenging De Gea, to be honest. I think that's more of a step up in terms of the backup goalkeeper than Tom Heaton. But the back 4 picks itself, and De Gea for their performance last week. Incredible. One of the best defensive performances I've seen for a long time in players wearing bloody Manchester United red. So Harry Maguire, even though the captain's privilege has been dropped from Harry Maguire now, Rangnick gave him captain's privilege. Ollie gave him captain's privilege. No matter what, he would start. Thank God Ten Hag hasn't continued, and he's actually had the balls to drop Maguire for the betterment of the team. And so I want to see that back 4 remain consistent. Malacia, what a debut. Unbelievable. Martinez, man of the match. Varane, very close. Just unbelievable centre-back partnership. And it's going to be so important for Varane to stay fit. How good we are throughout the season, going to be very important whether that man can stay fit. Delo as well. I would like for us to look for a right back to challenge Delo, because honestly, Wan-Bissaka, he doesn't even resemble a footballer going forward. So I think, yeah, a good attacking fullback to challenge Delo would be fantastic, but if we can get that in before the end of the window. So, yeah, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, they don't even come into it. That back four, solid. Now, this is the big one. What is the starting midfield? Again, this is the team that played against Liverpool, did an absolutely fantastic job. And to be honest, I want to make as little changes as possible to this team that started against Liverpool, because I think you should be rewarded for good performances. That being said, we have Casemiro. He's had 2 training sessions now. I think he's remained fit, because literally the day before his Manchester United transfer, he was training with the Real Madrid team. So he's got he's got fitness. So he's ready to go, and I would throw him straight in. So question is, who does he replace? And it's obvious, isn't it? McTominay, I was very, very proud of his performance, to be honest. An academy lad, I'd written him off as not good enough. To be honest, I still don't think he's good enough, but it was a fantastic performance by McTominay. However, Casemiro, he is different gravy, isn't he? So, well done, Scotty boy, but you're coming out, lad. Casemiro, oh, yes. Into that squad. Going straight in my basket. Yeah, so already Casemiro in. Now the question is, between Eriksen and Bruno, does that remain, or does that change? Again, I think possibly. I think Eriksen was good. Eriksen was fine. He obviously had that free kick that was tipped by Alisson, that was tipped round the post. However, I think Eriksen was probably one of the weakest performers in that game against Liverpool. It's difficult to call a player out for a weak performance when we played so well as a team. But if I was looking individually, I wouldn't say he played amazing. He certainly didn't stand out like the other players. I think Fred was good when he came on, and I'm very interested to see, because the starting 11 for Brazil, Fred gets in it, and who's alongside him? Casemiro. So, I think some people may disagree with me here. Maybe Ten Hag will disagree with me here, because obviously he's bought Eriksen, he's played him, he's started him every single game. But I would take Eriksen out, put Fred in there. I want to see that, and I want to see Fred playing as an 8. Now we have a number 6 that will hold, that will do the dirty work. We can literally say, okay, Casemiro, you've got all the defensive responsibilities. I want you, Fred. Pretend you're playing yellow, my guy. Fresh. Pretend you're playing in yellow, and I want you to do exactly as you do for Brazil. Be Brazilian, Fred. Brazil, eh? Fresh, yeah? Okay, that's what I want to see. And get him going, because when Fred's in his own box or has to pick up markers in the defensive area, he's absolutely terrible. When he's going forward, he's got loads of energy going forwards and backwards. He's breaking up play. He's a lot better. He's a lot better in that role as a box to box than what he is as a bloody when he's more defensively. So with Casemiro, we've relinquished Fred. We've released Fred, the inner beast, which is wonderful. And now it's a question of, is it Eriksen or Bruno Fernandes? This is a tricky one for me, actually. I mean, Eriksen did play almost as a false 9 in one of the games, wasn't it? One of the early ones. It might even been the first one against Brighton, or it could have been against Brentford. I can't remember. No, it was against Brighton. He was playing as a false 9. Didn't look good, and then he dropped back into deeper in midfield, and he looked a lot better. Bruno was captain in the last game. I think I'm almost certain that it will be Bruno. I think where Eriksen fits into the team, is going to be here alongside Casemiro. Whether that's Fred or Eriksen, because I think Bruno is a mainstay in that team. And I think he'll probably be captain if, obviously, again, if Maguire doesn't play, which, you know, fingers crossed he won't. Now, on to the wingers. Well, wingers and forward, I guess. So, we have Anthony Elanga on the right-hand side, who, can I just add, fantastic game. Absolutely rinsed Trent on that right-hand side. I was surprised when he went off, but Martial played absolutely fantastically when he came on as well, and it was the right decision. He played a massive role in that second goal against Liverpool. So, if Martial, by the way, spoiler alert, if Martial was fit and available, I would start Martial up front for how well he did when he came on. However, I think this shows the need that we have for a striker. Ronaldo wants to leave. He's been linked with Napoli now. So Ronaldo wants to leave. Everyone knows that. There's still massive question mark. How good Rashford was against Liverpool, there's still massive question marks about his consistency. Can he do it game in, game out? I'm not sure. We didn't see that against Brentford. He had about 3 chances on a plate and missed every one. But he was very clinical against Liverpool, and he chased down everything. So, I would say, with Martial being out, you know what? I still don't think Ronaldo gets in. Maybe Ten Hag will disagree, but for me, my preferred lineup is. Oh, do I keep in Elanga though? That's the question. Elanga played well. Does he start? You know what? A lot of you might disagree with this. But I'm keeping Elanga in that team. I know Elanga over Ronaldo, you might think it's crazy, but I'm rewarding the good performance last game. I'm rewarding that, and if you play well, Ronaldo clearly wants to leave as well. He'll want to leave even more if he bloody gets dropped for Elanga. But, yeah, I'm rewarding good performance. I know there was footage of him cheering on the team and stuff like that, which is fantastic, but he does want to leave. That's undeniable. What Ten Hag might do, he might do something a little bit indie and put Bruno on the right wing. We've seen it before because he bloody loves Eriksen, and I'm sure he'll want to fit him into the team. So he could be putting Eriksen in the middle here and putting Bruno off on the right. That could be a possibility as well. But this is the team that I would go with. And let's put Rashford up front. Let's see if he's clinical. Let's see if he has the same intensity, the same work rate as what he did show against Liverpool. Because if he does, then that's fantastic. But yeah, that is the starting 11 that I would go with. In terms of substitutions, obviously Ronaldo's a fantastic person to have on the bench. Eriksen, Adoni doesn't even come close to getting in the starting lineup. I don't think he's looked fantastic when he's come on. He obviously hasn't had a massive amount of game time, but with Ten Hag coming in and he still hasn't gotten into the starting 11, it's like, you know, he's the perfect manager that you would have thought would put him in the starting 11. So I think everyone that was calling for Donny to get put into the team against for Ranić, for Ollie, well, Ten Hag's now the manager. He's not put him in the team. So there's clearly some kind of issue, maybe a fitness issue, maybe a physicality issue. There's clearly multiple managers that think he's not good enough for the Premier League. So it is what it is. Now, finally, to end this on my score prediction, I would love to see Manchester United get a clean sheet. We were close to getting a clean sheet against Liverpool, if Bruno didn't smash it in his own net, which he was very close to doing, so that was their best chance other than the goal that they did score. I would love to see us get a clean sheet away from home as well. Unfortunately, I can actually see this being a draw. Like I said, there was 2 draws in the last 2 matches that Manchester United have played Southampton. Manchester United want to end that horrific run of 7 away losses in a row. we shouldn't take a draw, but at least it would end that horrific record. It wouldn't be good enough for the fans. I don't think it would even be good enough for Ten Hag, but like I say, every cloud has a silver lining, and at least that record goes. But I would love to see some consistency. I would not be happy with a draw. This would be my team, and that is it. So thank you everyone for watching. You can join the live watch along for this match on Twitch. I'll be live at 12 p.m. And the link for which will be in the description. I'm so close to, well, not so close, but we're about 250 subscribers away from 1,000, which I can get monetization, all that good stuff. I'm here to stay on YouTube, by the way. I was just a Twitch streamer, just a TikToker. I'm now a YouTuber. So definitely hit that like button, that subscribe. Put in your comments your thoughts on what would be your 11, what would be your midfield that you would choose. Because I'm sure there's going to be differences of opinion. The biggest one being me putting Elanga in over Ronaldo. I'm sure there's plenty of people that disagree with that one. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Do hit that subscribe. Be absolute legends. And I'll see you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.